Hi there, and welcome to our video on optional extra features that are available on the Spellings for Me student profile. So without further ado, every student has access to the other test section within their profile. So if you look at the left-hand side, you'll see the dashboard, which are video lessons that are inside there. In the test section, you have a yellow and orange test that most students in your school will be completing. But down below that, we have the other test section. Inside here, we have a range of optional extra features that you can assign to your students if you want to. Okay, I'm going to begin by speaking about the dictation test sentences that are built into your profile. There are 40 levels of dictation tests, which correspond to the yellow spelling tests. There are two options when students click into any blue dictation test. They can pick practice mode. And if the students pick practice mode, any errors that they make while taking the dictation test will not go to their orange learning word section. If they pick testing mode, any errors that they make will go to the orange learning word section. Okay, so that's important to note. The number inside the star represents how many times a student has practiced that test. Typically, we find teachers assign dictation tests during station teaching. It might be something if you have a digital homework policy, you might assign dictation tests every 2 or 3 weeks. It's completely up to you. This is just what it looks like for the student when they click in. They hear the sentence and they type the correct word into the correct box and they move on to the next sentence. There's many keyboard shortcuts available which are highlighted in the yellow spelling test section as well. Mastered words test. Even though it's listed as an extra here in this video, it should not be an extra for those of you who are support teachers online here this evening. For children with assessments of dyslexia, for children with retention difficulties, for children who find spelling difficult, mastered words test is really key to the program for them. Okay, so they are words that student has previously gotten wrong in their spelling test. They have gone away and they've managed to learn these words. They have mastered them. Okay, just be aware the children can take mastered words tests at any time during the school year. Once again, the number inside the star represents how many times a student might have practiced those tests. So to explain, let's say I'm your student and we're not using Spellings for Me. And in 6th class, you as my support teacher decided we're going to study 20 spellings for September. Those spellings include Wednesday, geography, history, Saturday, and homework. And I go away for the month of September and I manage to learn all 20 words. You're delighted at the end of September I'm able to spell these words, and we move on to a new set of 20 words in October, a new set in November, and a new set of 20 words in December. However, you probably know where I'm going with this. In January, you decide as my teacher to check to see how I'm getting on at the 20 words I was learning in September. As you know, I've forgotten now 14, 15, 16 of those words. Your side, you're kind of disappointed. I'm now back learning Wednesday, geography, history, Saturday, and homework, so I'm not overly impressed either. So it's not working for any of us. However, if that student is using Spellings for Me, the 20 words that they managed to learn in September will go into their master word section. And I can assure you, if you can get these children to take their master words test on a weekly, if not bi-weekly, as often as possible. If I revise Wednesday, geography, history, Saturday, and homework every week in October, every week in November, every week in December, I will come back in January and I will have remembered and retained those words. Okay, so it's an important feature for those children who struggle with spelling. In the mainstream classroom setting, children can take these tests maybe once or twice a year. They will have forgotten some words they managed to learn last year, possibly. So you're in 5th class now, you get them to take the words that they managed to learn in 4th class. They may have forgotten some of those words. But as I said, once or twice a year in the mainstream classroom setting is all that's required. It's important to note that any words they have forgotten will go back into their orange learning word section. Okay, so if I have managed to learn these words previously, that is not enough. It is important that I'm able to retain these words and spell them 2 months later, 3 months later, 6 months later. Okay. You can build any school custom built test onto your own school profile. When we go in to look at school accounts, we see some schools that have 40, 50, 60 tests built into this platform, and that's perfect. There's no limit to the amount of tests you can build. However, the majority of schools we click into will have 1 or 2 tests built in. And the common test we see built into most school profiles is local towns and villages. The instructions in this are in your teacher manual. They're quite self-explanatory. It's a very easy feature to use, but just please be aware it's there if you're interested in using it. This is what it looks like for a student if there's no test built into their platform by the school, and this is what it looks like for the student if there are tests. Counties of Ireland, of course, is another very popular one for schools within the Republic of Ireland. Writing genre tests are also built into the platform. We would urge you to use them as a pre-teaching test rather than trying to assess for vocabulary that they don't know for that particular writing genre. What I'm trying to say is if you're teaching letter writing next week, you might have the devices today, this week, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday. Get the children to log into their Spellings for Me profile, get them to click on the writing genre test for that genre. It will expose them to the vocabulary that they're going to be using next week. So on Monday of next week, when you ask them, does anybody know any letter writing vocabulary, hands will pop up because they will have been exposed to that vocabulary last week. Just be aware, children will not be exposed to words that are far beyond their ability. Okay, so if I'm not able to spell dear, sir, or madam, I will not be asked to spell faithfully or sincerely, for example. So they will only be exposed to the writing genre vocabulary that would be at their level. Okay. Other optional tests built into the program, which are particularly useful in the SEND setting, are also in junior classes. So we would have these features used in the SEND setting more so, and junior classes would be the SNP test, the Dodge test, and the letter string test, which are built into our platform. These are discussed in the video using Spellings for Me in the SEND setting. So if you are interested in these tests, I would urge you to click into that video using Spellings for Me in the SEND setting. There's certificates built into the program. Children build up certificates based upon the amount of words they learn and the amount of practice they do within the online profile. Okay, this is just what they look like. Just be aware, they're available to every student on their own profile. So there is no real need to print them out. If they need to show them or want to show them at home, they can log into their profile, any smartphone, tablet, laptop, any device really with an internet connection. They can log into their own account and show these certificates that they have built up. There are games also built in. They're optional extras again. The arrow is pointing to the first game for the reason it is individualized to every student. So if I was to hone in on two things for you as a support teacher, possibly, I would be speaking about the green master words test, which we were just after speaking about, and this first game. So if I'm studying words like to, me, home, you, from, they will be inside in this game. Okay. The other games that are available are general memory retention games, literacy building games. It's completely up to you whether you decide to use them, and let the children in your class log in to play those games. Please be aware there is a printable section on every single profile built into Spellings for Me. This is available on the student profile and on any teacher profile. It is useful if you have a parent who wants to help at home, do extra work, that they are aware that this printable section is here for them. But also, you as a teacher, we would urge you to try log in at some stage, click through the different templates that are here, resources that are available within the printable section, because there are a lot of useful templates and activities that can be printed out. Your teacher manual is here in the printable section, but also, just so you're aware, your workbook, you don't have to be displaying at the top of the room while holding the workbook in your hand. All of our 6 workbooks are available in flipping book format. So if you get them up on the screen behind you on the interactive whiteboard, you can flick from page to page to page, exactly like a real book or a real workbook, and demonstrate using the whiteboard, the interactive board. So yeah, those are our optional extras. There are plenty other mini videos being made that you can click onto that are a breakdown of our full webinar. But do be aware, our full webinar is available for you to log into at any stage. It's recorded, but also we do live webinars quite regularly. Thank you.